And welcome aboard to the Podium. Share like every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight to preview and review in the world of motorsport, local scene, African scene, as well as on the international scene on this 1st of December 2025. Only hoping that everything has shifted your way. From the last time we dakola share no as usual tugamba bakoze ne mfuna mabirungi twebaza katonda tumusaba tusakona ebirungi ebira kuba byete bigwa nabakyafunye obuzibu bera sio tumusaba tutemere kumpendo bafunye solutions moko obuzibu obwo tulivinga obulamu obuli better. The Podium on Fufa TV ne ku 100.1 Fafama as usual so kwa program eno giraba as well as other subsequent programs is vera ku Fufa TV ngokosa the Fufa media app so kwa ngo downloading am app store yo am Play Store yo obana kuba ngogenda ku Fufa TV, that of course the YouTube channel, of course the social media platforms endala ku X ku TikTok zona Fufa TV ne 102.1 Fafama also kuba ngo bifuna benebili under the Fufa media services. Kalenze kesho mwanza program eno on this 1st of December 2025, and we have a lot regarding the world of motorsport. Nina Aaron Sambo is a panelist on this show, as well as Albert Ofong, Vice President, Formula One Association of Uganda, Club President Mkulu Reynold Mugisha. Then we pick it up from there. We have a lot. It will quite to get I never had that even prior to the show, but it will be of course we have the World Rally Championship did come to a close over the weekend. Sebastian Ogier win twalikuwa natogera nti ayinza okuba engeri wanje bali abafaransa yine low nti agenda sigala ku 8, but he's been doing part time this year as then awangula events even next year by the World Cup lineup ya Toyota era still ye driver and was ye driver okutano era alipo part time because baleta Olivier Solberg. Then of course yakuna F1 championship egenda ku wire Abu Dhabi oluvanyuma Max Verstappen okwanja yasobola kubanga awangule KATAR despite the fact that yatandikira ku pole. Very good performance for Max awangule ndo the last 3 races because he even won in Texas as well prior to KATAR. Then the final round the e-sport, the sport elimu infancy yayo wali ku fan station ilo waliyoko. Then the weekend over this weekend wali the 3rd and 4th round of the National Karting Championship. It's going to be a double header. Tugenda kwa tubiyogerako that and more will formulate today's program. First ja kuita mkatono nyene yale hoima. I've been signing endless autographs even prior to this show. I've told you my experience of being a champion. I don't know. I just have this. Because I want to mukula ina asmaidi nyoka space akasmaidi. Aboza kuwatoa. Na but with otherwise is especially intigizo utakuwa mzindala. Anza mapesa nzaga ina wana. Albert, so aboza kutana watuliza.
Soka twagala kwebaza mukama okubanga tutusize okulwa leero. Abatulaba n'abatuwuliriza tusaba nti tubebaza okutuwa obudde buno okutuwuliriza buli afunyemu ekizibu mu weekend oba week eri tulina mmwe abafunyemu ebirungi twebaza mukama na ku experiencing the good part of it. Mwami Bukenya, congratulations on being a champion. Fufa organization mwebale nyo tuwa budde okwogera ku motorsport for all these years. We are very grateful. Not only have you created a producer, I mean what would you call it? A head of show in Bukenya, but you have also produced a national champion out of him as the co-driver for the year 2025. We look forward to the show. Era ebigambo byange.
Tuanza nyumene yasinna sangata nagenda Tanzania yasiringia the ARC crown. Twakola sheyo ne Ali Katumba and he was seated right there where you were. Before him twakola shone Pass Luja. Pass was seated where Aaron is and Aaron was seated there. Pass now all the blessings. Aaron so was kwa watuliza.
Batulaba mwenna ku Fufa TV n'aba batuliza ku 102.1 Fufa FM. Sanyu jederi lwe sawa kadde nesolo kujja ko wano. Togera ku nzanyo tusinga okwagala nga ffe ogumu tokaze mpaka. sijja kukoowa era sijja kukulekera okwebaza management ya FUFA Media Services ne FUFA management okutuwa akakisa kano tubeera wano twogera ku bintu byetusinga okwagala ngaffe mmotoka z'empaka tusiima era tusiimira ddala naye message zaffe zituusa
message
zituuka ez'okwebaza kwaffe n'okusiima
message zituuka
alhamdulillah nyongera okwebaza mwenna abawaayo obudde airtime wammwe ne mutuwuliriza nga bulijjo nkyogera lunya nkisiifa abasinga okumanya eby'emmotoka z'empaka naye muwaayo obudde ne mutuwuliriza ne mutulaba ne muteekamu airtime ne mustreaminga tubeebaza. We don't take you for granted era tubeebaliza ddala nnyo mwe mutufudde kituli ne show eno kyeri. Nebaza obanjozayoza bonna abafunye ebirungi weekend tukubya amabega muganda wange Julius Moda webali ogenda okukyala mu bakadde era nkuyozayoza ogenda okujayo omwana munnaffe kankusabire ddala ogume mu institution gyoyingiddemu ey'obufumbo. Moda is time marshal mu Wuma emuzaza naye ate era sirema kunakwalira wamu nammwe abafunye obuzibu mu ebyo tukubya amabega. Tusaba Mukama abagumye era abasibe ebinyu tusobola okuyita mu mbeera gye muyitamu nga tumanyi Mukama embeezi waffe.
Kale mwena abafunye ebirungi lwakyogeddeko ne Albert tuwebaza Katonda then abakyafunye obuzibu tusabe batemere ku mpeera tusomoke obuzibu live a better life. Of course life is full of challenges, ups and downs, but that's what it has been. One of the things that keeps motivating me is that definition of success. Those are Winston Churchill defining a success as the movement from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. As in, you keep failing, but you don't put power. So enthusiasm, as in, those are power. If you to put it in a so you keep moving and you keep going. Finally, you get there. Kari, we kick it off with there are very many things we talk about in the course of this show. But even before we go in for the short commercial break. Albert, the 2025 World Rally Championship. If there's one of the, I think, Mweno era, omuntu asinze okubera very unlucky is Elfyn Evans, because he's come second, 2020 second, 2021 second, 2023 second, 2024 second, 2025 second, and this year he had the championship in his hands. Albert, where did it go wrong for Evans? And I shouldn't ask what he should do to win the championship, but guys who have been doing part-time, because even Nekari Ruvampera, even prior to this rally, Saudi, never demo mix, because I think there are 3 drivers in contention for the championship. Ruvampera, the Toyotas, of course, Gundi, manufacturers, Hyundai, Bachi, Maliriza, but Ruvampera is been on and off. He's not done a full season as, in fact, more contenders were now. It was only Evans who had done a full season. What a young Valinti championship, Thierry Giawango the previous year, is first in his life anyway. He had not won an event. Charlie, the events we Zibadeo and become a champion, Alimedua, Wangla event, because even season began, he's not Tiaragana signs of defending the championship. Tiaraganti is going to come and defend the championship. Tanak, in the course of this year, till end of Yagami is taking a break. He's not performed as well as expected. Okay, maybe by gathering the points for the manufacturers, but Toyota, they have again come and dominated, and they have even won another champion. Not what to say, even the last event of the season. It was the 3 of them, 3 Toyotas vying for the championship. Maybe the question would be, Katsuta. Yeah, but they were winning bows. Yeah, championship contention because he was not even near. He's not even come close. No go championship at the Chuka. Evans Avadeo, Tanaka Kulembira. But till the end of the season, Tanaka Adiwoko, Theatre Decomo mix. I think it has been Tanak, Thierry, Rovampera, and Oja, the 4 of them. Okay.
In regards to what Tunaku question, Evans yakola. In my personal opinion, yakola buli kimu ekyetaagisa okuwangula championship eyo, apart from one thing. He did not fight when it was ready to fight. So Evans, wogenda mu history ya WRC ngobadde ogigoberera for a long time. the quickest guys in the WRC, the quickest, as of the last 4 years, have been Oit Tanak, Sebastian Loeb, Kalle Rovanpera, and Thierry Neuville. When those 4 people decide to go for a full bound, what we call pound-to-pound battle, Evans has never, ever been able to keep up with them. So
Sebastian Ogier.
Sorry, Sebastian Ogier. Sorry. Loeb yasigala mukubaga is my man. So, wotuna Saudi, woba Saudi, the first stage of day 1, Friday. Sorry, Thursday. Yabade staging a nungi nnyo, ng'osobola okupickinga, you could go all out. Evans never went all out. Evans yagenda cautiously. That was the stage that started his downfall. Yes, Sebastian, he went all out. Ekyokubiri, they were using the same piece of equipment. Seb Ogier is very good at managing the car. Evans, Chetuyinza Mugambako, him as a competitor, was also very good at managing his car kubanga season yonna tetulabyeko Evans nga agudde ekigwo ate tetulabye nga akoze damage ennene ku motoka ye. So they were able to manage those 2 areas. But when it came to outright speed and where it mattered, Ogier was always on top of the game. Rovanpera ne Tanak, they were in the fight until Japan. Era Tanak ebibye byakoma just before Japan, and those 2 events, before Japan and after Japan, he was out of it. So Ogier Chatulaze nti I can come do. He's doing a 10 event program next year. This year he was on 6. After weyamala 6 ze narabanga he's on the championship nabagamba munyongere nagiwangula. Naye nga wogenda to the records oyo musajja oyo, because even this event he finished on the podium. Oyo musajja every time he has driven he has been on podium. The whole season. So that is a remarkable ability. Kati fe bano abamugoberera, Thierry has not had a good season, but for Thierry and Oit, it is about the car, not the driver. So I look forward to 2026 again with him there. And unfortunately, we've lost Gundi. Tanak agenze, but it would have been great to watch him against Tanak and Rovanpera again, because we've lost Tanak and we also lost Rovanpera. So kati mu area eyo asigadde nga asobola okudduka naye ali amukubyeko is now Thierry. He's the only one who has beaten Ogier before and beaten him properly.
Producer Rode ku championships za Ogier 2013 VW Polo, 2014 VW Polo, 2015 VW Polo, 2016 VW Polo, 2017 Ford Fiesta, 2018 Ford Fiesta, 2020 Toyota Yaris, 2021 Toyota Yaris, 2025 Toyota Yaris. Especially Ogier championships omwenda zaina ainako nya eza Volkswagen, ainako bidi eza Ford, then ainako satu eza Yaris. Nezo championships za VW team principal wekati Yari Matilatva, he was always close but always far away.
Era Yari Matilatva never won.
He never won a championship, but he was always close.
Always second.
Cutting year 2015, then Naindo was he had a chance, but the very many drivers who are unlucky, by the way. Talking about Ogier, but you're talking about never Miko. In my view, he's a driver going on, Manti. How did he? But by the time we are what were
the great?
What were the great?
What were the great?
Atira tujja kujeyo makomati. Newe yali omuzibu ennyo. Ate waliwo Graham.
So even we first going for a short commercial break to come out and input here regarding the 9th championship. Ogier just odo kwanga wangula. Mu Yaris, then of course tugenda kwali KATAR. Max Verstappen odo kwanga wangula race eyo. We didn't start even on podium. He didn't even win the sprint race because the sprint race was won by Oscar Piastri. Aina jana wangula, the rest for taking the championship down to the wire. We very gonna send back Abu Dhabi. At short commercial break, it's the Podium every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review all the latest in the world of sport. In the occasion, Aaron Sambane Albert Ofong on this 1st of December 2025. Aaron, prior to that break, Albert at what they call his take on Oje winning the championship. I did ask him a question, where did it go wrong for Evans? And he correctly said he's not been in the fight whenever they need the roads. And in my view, it has really affected. Because about the Oja in 293. Evans in 289, difference of 3 points. Kare in 256. Yali Mabega ali one score after the championship, after the final round. But I think those 4 points, you get. I think when Abada call up part time, it's not done. This guy has done almost all events.
For sure, Evans I know we are swollen. He had a very good start to the season, winning Sweden, Safari, Najuwangula. So he accumulated some very good points, and we are in and take our battle in Mala. Collecting points is Mala is propelling Okubanga, Alian Catchable, Guruao, Tiakola Chimala. Against Okujamu event season is Semba Yonga, one another, Abamusinga Pace Bona. Tasula Kuba Kali Vampira pound for pound, Tasula Kuba Oja pound for pound, Tasula Kuba Oitanak pound for pound. So that Abadai disadvantage time when Watinga. Tebagenda kuddayo ku part time nga Oja tagenda kuddayo yatuuka tuka stage nga part time nebigwawo nga agenda kufuna events zonna luli ndoza ya relaxinga nyo nga avugeyo kasita part time edda ko tajja kola ki kujja kuvuga so relax nature atuse cha part time kiweddewo sponsorship weri twete pushinga go out no labanga mukwano gwabanji. By the way, I have some good friends of mine about rooting for Evans, Joe Brewer, John Consta, when I'm Sajava Evans, Sanka, Echimaro Chagani,
ne Rob Styles,
you're rooting for EE.
Even when the season began, even last season, try to come at either Thierry or Evans. So he was second.
I think for these two seasons, Zaba there for those two, but Gabane championship at least. Bave mu battle y'abaana bano nga balina kibuli omukyatu teko baleme kubanga baganda mikwano gyaffe Miko Hivonen ne yali Mati Latvala mu time zaabwe bo bamalanga lobo abafudde kitagasa abatuteko byonna bigira nabo bashiyaringanga omunabirako okubiri onabirako okusatu onabirako okubiri time nejanga Latvala yalwana nnyo olaba yali ku pace yagenda okutola championship ne bamujimutwalako last event ne rujja Miko n'alwana netugenda mu njigirala ya GB yagenda nga ya leading nga yenda kuba bukubira obu atwale championship bonnet ne yegula ne kigwera so
now with Oja producer Oja wins his 9th world title. Does that try to solve the solution issue you got?
The GOAT is next year. Kubanga Kastako Mao na wangula next year he becomes the GOAT.
I think a difference where nti oni yazi wangula in a row on azi wangude different.
The number
9
counts.
is 9.
10 is 10.
So in other words, so Kati Oja is dining with Loeb so together.
Bali kumeza
Mwenda. So any factor you comment in a row it's secondary, right?
It becomes more detailed. But primary, how many did you win? 10, 9. That's it.
Does the error matter?
The error when he did it. The error doesn't matter.
With the type of cars, with the type of...
Because we would now say Maradona is not the best. Pele was not the best player. Your error is your error. I don't say anybody was one. If I was able to speak with the WRH promoter, we have a very good product now. Wofuna Sebastian Loeb, no mufunire motoka. They go for the 10 rounds. It can be a wonderful championship. The two old men they go against each other. It would make the championship of 2010. Whoever wins, it will make the championship of 2026 very exciting.
In the championship is 2017-18. I mean 2027, 2028. I would say that Evans. Now Angolia next year. It prolongs the championship. As they're looking for it. But thanks to Oje and Abag's women, and I think well deserved. But the element of someone doing part-time and he comes and I don't know even Smani.
Those are chances in part-time.
And because he didn't, how many events?
Originally it was part-time.
How many events has Oje done?
It was designed to do on the 6. Has he done on the 6? No.
Actually, the most interesting thing, if nobody has noticed, he's actually coming for the 10th because his contract is for 10 events and he has announced it. So the other 14, time
they are 14.
They're here for him. He says, "I'm going to do 10." Zimala.
That's all okubakuba
wajja waziwangula ate 11
bwe kyobomanya gyatandikira Monte Carlo wakaja eri mu pocket kasita agifuna ezo kati bwawalala
he will skip Sweden and go for the next one
na just safari na collecting obwawo Portugal naskawo
kati before you know out of 14 ngakoze 12 ngecha part time because Toyota extake and gonna social zai bakulaga nti baina Oliver Solberg Takamoto Kasukra Elfin Evans
Payari
Sami Payari by the windows abayinga dem babiri Payari ne
Payari abaddemu
kubanti yo okay what I'm saying full season ngamba I think it's a chance for him to
go
maybe
full
test for the waters
kuba the inclusion like in Citroen Toyota 2
Toyota 2 chengamba ekati ina ali mu full chengamba that's what I was saying then Oje part time so Payari upgrade from maybe Charles Cesar Solberg dikibamu wa muko then one day come on tutubanga tuli you are making someone ngata so
Chinese ogamba nti you know I've watched Oje for very many years he's a very determined man ezo 10 events teyazitaddeyo nga talina kyanonya ababuzabuza nti does not want to go in record mbu he wants more wins than Lobo naye buli webaka it's on his mind so he's come for I think 2026 he wants to get the 10th title and that being on his purpose and him having that plan midway the season Oje is going to be leading that championship.
Yeah, and when he does, you definitely
he will just be in front and people follow.
We keep tabs on that and so now 2026 calendar out there's a safari was saving our money.
There's a safari.
Bakasensero wadi Saudi na isoka sensero Duncan Mobiru Kericho Nakauka Adi Chilunda yes babaddeyo ngabalangira Sally Keith. If you watch that video you Bobasali one man only could play in Dako in Saudi because they were telling him mwanyi zolima singa otunda kende besimaya mekane niwo for the event. By the way, I will present good representation from the guys. Not even Duncan by the way. I think Duncan joined them of late, but
Duncan or have a Hoyman ya Sarabusaz.
Sarabusaz. Nga celebrating the
Sarabusaz. Have a Hoyman. Tuka Kampala tereza mwana na
visa
nebuziza kyabika nti nade manyine ne Jonas Kansime jali wanga
Jonas. Okay, away from the WRC into F1 still omuntu atabadde okay he has been but not solely the championship already McLaren bajiwangula the constructors in Singapore when George Russell won the race but they won the constructors so chibadde kisigaddewo ebadde the drivers and you get a feeling it was either Piastri or Lando and Piastri led the championship for 189 days until Lando yajja namujjako kati akulembedde the championship but that bid has been cut with the performance of Max. Atekati maybe next noku okujja kwa McLaren mu race yagwa on technicalities chaguddewo the chances for Max because it's either the three of them. Nabadde yesterday I mean nadem transiting mpuliriza one of the commenters about the race Max will take a championship down to the wire. Ngawe yagenda ya 2020 jiawangu. He needs to win this race. He needs to win this race and that is exactly the starting point yatem favoring wasn't on pole, he was in number 3 because it was Lando, Piastri and Max. And good enough, 57 laps. It worked for him, the way the team did strategize. Now let Piastri after the racing up. You saw him I did down because he didn't like the strategy of the team, and it costed them. Kati Mbalamonti, ebyabatuka calling Albert Wagam technicalities. Beba kubanga nemo ino race byaze. Then it would have been completely different. By the way, even Max, he's won championships since 2020. Ishenti ya Michael Masi. Paka nakati. Kati we are going to Abu Dhabi this weekend on 7th of December. The question is Chidao.
Very interesting. Championship decider. So you give it to Maxi. He seemed out of race. Nga motokazi nebiri McLaren zikola byonna ebyewuunyisa at that particular time. Zaizu wininga Piastri awangula Lando Norris yaliwo. You could not call for Max to be at this point in time nti yali as close as that. Yes, tulabulungi nnyo na atenda plant baina ebizibu mu team ebyahona Nui avuddemu hona ataliwo olabedde nti byalina mu buzinendo za best tulanga bonga team and you have put up a very good performance.
But Max abadde one man army. Kubanga teammate wese Noda Yuki you don't see him anywhere battling for it.
Abera mu transit. So olaba nti ataddewo performance ennungi nnyo. The extent it agenda mu Abu Dhabi nga chance asobola okuwangula akugamba ne belief agenza agifuna nti I can take on these two guys nembali yako championship. Ndaba n'ekirala nti ndowooza McLaren yakola mu ensobi. Yagaana okwawula abantu balaga nti you are the lead driver genda wangule oba okitegeera nti kino fight yeyongedde nnyo. It has taken too long for them to decide nti gwaba aba lead driver waffe tubakinge gwe ono osigale backup maybe tukikola olala kati saawa zino kituuse it's not in their hands okusalawo oba ono yaba agenda baba bakinga oli kati balinamu empologoma ebatuddemu wakati ate yo nga eriemu erwanye eriemu all through eyagala kugenda kutwala
and it's too late for them
exactly
to make that decision.
Yes,
they can't tell Lando back out for Piastri. Neither can tell Piastri to back out for Lando.
Exactly.
And twachogera kwa ndugamba bano basitera bagenda kola that decision.
Yes,
and it's in my view it's going to hurt them if Max wins this championship in Abu Dhabi.
Well, for me, I would agree with the team strategy where there is no leader at this point.
Towards the tail end of the season.
Kubanga kati wobogenda Abu Dhabi, you cannot say there's a lead.
Hey, of course,
doesn't work.
Secondly, as a manufacturer, I want to win the manufacturer's title. That is what I spend the money for.
But
the drivers, which they did.
Yes.
The drivers' championship is for the driver, but the manufacturer is mine. So when they disqualified the last event, on the manufacturer's point of view, that was not good for them as a manufacturer. So at level J2 the other team lost the manufacturers. And you can lose manufacturers, but you win the drivers' championship. It still gives your car the reckoning that it is competitive enough. This is business. What the Formula One car produces reflects in supercars that people buy every day. And more economies where the money is real, people will buy a car because Lando has won. And he'll buy a car of $1 million for that. So basically, that is what it's all about. Now, Max is a world champion. World champions don't come by flukes. He has the mental capacity, Ajirina. He has been there before. He knows what to do. Banabavubuka, they are young. This is their first time. I'm being world champion. It is in front of me. The pressure is on them, not Max. So knowing Max and his aggressive fashion, Abu Dhabi is going to be a battle to watch. As Formula One Association, we're going to be watching it at our usual home. At Forest Mall. And we are planning something a little bit big. We shall be advertising.
One of the races in Akalaba on those, it's in my mind. The race viewing is when Hamilton won in
Silverstone.
The entire Forest Mall was ablaze. We are about Silverstone.
The atmosphere at Icon is out of this world. As in more portray. Actually, you really try to portray what really happened.
What the race is.
It's very fantastic. Icon.
He should come for this one.
I tell you, no, eri okay, it's because maybe Hamilton has the, without being, okay, current everything, about the issue, the championship, you want to yeah, 2020, because now you're agenda Hawaii. And everyone around Kampala, everyone around Uganda was talking about that championship. So wherever you would go, Njukio Kumunya, Utlavila Racing, Ogenanga, finally, Wagen and those were fitted this. Benagena nabo benyini bamunyigwa n'abalabonna bali Bamilton alibagaza kagenda okulone wa Max tuwakanye mukala wekizo kubera nga tuli
Mako Mas
nachikola because it was twali munua and by the time I got out of this place I had to get a border. So I think even this one is also going to be,
it's going to be a good
because
one.
Max has nothing to lose. He has nothing to lose, and if whatever race yesterday, if you saw how they dominated that race, because for him he has that experience, he knows how to dominate. Wabanga afunye chance, and the safety car worked for them, and it worked for them, and for them they know how to maximize out of that. Aba McLaren, and there's a driver a dropping them form. Piastri, tail end of the season. Kanailo was also quite that decision to let's give Lando a chance. Neate ulaba bakoze bintu and atenechira maybe chenala binti. Mweno race Lando yabadde mabega nga he was running 50th. Kwa it was Max, Piastri, Carlos Sainz, then Antonelli, Kimi. Then our racing again, I think the final lap is when Antonelli has so much into the corner, so nagenda wide. Others thought our racing team maybe Yamuwadde, but when we watch them slow motion at the end of the race, Antonelli has nagenda so much wide. So those 2 points are going to be gatherings. Lando, this will very precious, crucial for him. But as we go into Albert, as we go into Abu Dhabi, can Max do it again?
Definitely, Max. In my opinion, he has all the chances now. The ball is in his hand. Right, he's the one catching up. Kwegamba yagenze in a place he didn't have pole position. He had the worst position. He came and won the race. So baliba agenze waka ngababuza. Ono guy, we know he has the potential. So when he arrives in Abu Dhabi, he is arriving with already psychologically the upper hand. Katiba nababiri, these two people, they are young men. Imagine if you are going to be world champion and your teammate is there. I cannot give you. So for them, they are going to battle.
I don't know feeling. Whoever the qualification in Abu Dhabi does matter a lot. Whoever those 1, 2, 3 positions. When Max broke the Yasamba Akaji, the local dialect, is in 2016, but already sort of accuracy.
Yes.
When he came and in fact, it was Hamilton, then Nico Rosberg, then Max. And Bonnie Vajaku on the first corner, never to me and never vow, then gay one now. They are holding off Kimi Raikkonen for a longer time of that race. I get a feeling if these guys are
all that falls in his favor because they have to fight. There's no way I can be at that position and I don't fight.
In my feeling, Hamilton and McLaren yebulidde. Yes, we never abavubuka bato babiri. Batuze wangaga gayo mukati kibyenze. Ani leading anti Lando leading. Okuba ashamed at the end of the season to lead the all this room Saja Veja Vat Kubeko Championship. Piastri Gendo defending Lando Gendo Wangule. Tulikula
Gamba. If it's the other way around. Lando, if you can defend Piastri depending on the form of the event, you want a single form over the weekend. You do another in a match is the one you should defend.
There was a time this year which I think it was either Piastri who was to win and he gave way to Lando.
Yes.
This year.
Yes.
So Kakati, in this particular scenario, ani aliwagulu si Lando. Katoloza Piastri agenda kuleka Lando.
And it depends on the
tugende mu qualifier, whoever qualifies as one over ahead of the other.
From qualify over
or qualifying anga one go to backing. We're defending
I have just a few points to become world champion. I give it to you.
And that could cost that indecision in my view by McLaren could cost them the entire season. Despite the fact that Albert Agabiti, them as manufacturers,
kati bene byammwe so why should I play that
eyo pride
kiringa okuzanya between your two children nolondako omu
eyo pride togenda jijjawo okitegera nti world champion as driver yali McLaren and constructor McLaren omwaka guno 2025 so byombi bwe mambyagala nze zenyini nze n'okutuuza abatabani bange babiri wansi
nososolako omu
nembagamba nti McLaren nti Piastri nkwagala nnyo mugende mu qualifier mu qualifying
why Albert is saying tubanga ayawudde mu ababana
siwawudde
it's too late bani bade bagikola mu first half of the season who was bakuba mu first half of the season yandi bade Piastri bade because he was led for the highest number of within the two.
So it's going to be a very interesting race era tubayita ate for my colleague ayagala nnyo oldies we are putting in a spin of some oldies at the icon for that day.
As you go in a race, let me look at the lineup, the grid. He's a Quagga Albon, and he's a Winkle. Can't come out. Back from that short commercial break, it's a Podium to be back every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight where we preview and review the latest in the world of sport. In Aaron Samba as well as Albert Ofong, the F1 Championship is upon us this weekend as the title decider goes to Abu Dhabi. Race of course, you can command to really also the one be transpiring, but of course it's worth your time, worth watching. Those who have followed the F1 Championship year 2025. Max looking for another title, land on a Piastri. But one of their first titles in their career. Of course, McLaren, Bawangula, the Constructors' Championship. Oliver Nyumara, Russell Wangula race in Singapore. Of course, that propelled them to winning the Constructors' Championship. Kale, this is to be round 24 out of 24, year 2025. Away from that, Katoni is going to go karting. We have the Vice President of the Formula 1 Kart Association of Uganda, Albert Ofong. Tuweke katono nnyo ku event yaliyo hoima where championships, a number of championships were decided. For starters, Aaron, Duncan wins the rally. Duncan well deserved. Okay, Segaway led day one, right? After day one, I think second Zali. The difference between him and Duncan was seconds.
25 seconds.
25 seconds. The question was, would Segaway hang in there? And win his first rally. I remember Segawe we wasoko vuga motoka twali Mbarara mu autocross. Autocross eyo ya organizing wa Mbara Motor Club mu 2023. Emoke Mustafa Mukasa Jaina Segawe yali avuga. Mu practice ya setting at the second best time because Sebuguzi won the practice. He set the second best time. We had the third best time. So Jonas Nambuza at home. But Sebuguzi won the event. We came second. So Segava, but since then Segava has been Mzunjaita upward trajectory. He's always been. So I wasn't surprised. Getting competition, some Namlako in circuit, competing, but these times were good. Winning stages, sharing stage wins with Duncan as well. Duncan was a bit more relaxed because. Really? A driver was yandi badden was amuteke nnyo kubunkenke given the experience would have been Sebuguzi.
But Sebuguzi was also relatively very calm.
Very calm. Attend was another afternoon of super special. That delay to restart. Katira was a restart. It was all for him. Sebuguzi yali achieving and with concern not putting in an entry. It was
putting in an entry and failing to show up.
Yeah, putting in an entry and failing to show up. Because there are 27 entries, Nalava 20 starters. So 7 of them, including Rakataka, was one of those ones. Then Netuja, that was essentially decided. Then CRC, big mountain to climb for Morgan, for Mtamanwa Katete.
Ahmed Katete
and Morgan Seruga. Because Bali Beta, Gundi have a single point to Minamwenda, Water Chivande, Ngaina Kuvamurale, Bone Bajiwangula. Nengate, Goto in Kevin Bebeta, Homeo, ayagala oku
and the scare came in kibande nasigalayo stage
so
yokubiri
yasigalayo mu
yokubiri mu Suma first round
yasigala mu Suma
first ngajikola mundo
okusoka you had to restart
yes.
But of course yabana akigira then mu class endala yali ya two-wheel drive ne yali nziwe n'ebibalo bingi
ya two-wheel drive totekamubira balo
mwalimu ebibalo
byali bwe biti oba temwali ebibalo kubanga
mwalimu ebibalo
drivers championship yali already sealed going into this event yaite na yakuba sealed yali ya co-driver
near two-wheel drive because if Mukala had won that event 20 points nafuna ne 7 za power stage Mansour nava then Mukala will be champion.
How?
Mukala had 86 points at 27 on those ones.
86?
Yeah, 86 points.
Yeah, yazijawa.
Yeah, 86.
Nga taita kubanga ina 86 nga co-driver ina 85.
Charted ina 86 points. The standings that were finally published prior to the event were 86 points. And it is its points they try to get it up. Ochegera. Twagala okudamo tinkule ebitabo.
Alo anyobuzi buli bwe buti. Nti gonde zo zajja bwali bakuwa meka kinana.
Mobili.
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 Ndigala zikweringa.
Nana mobili yachiwe
nazikweringa.
Chategeka kalaba chategeka. Naye kale echa Mansour chalinga.
Chobola nali badde kweringa neza Mansour.
Chalinga Mansour had 112.5. Echa Mansour chalinga echa Kibande. It was almost done and dusted. Okuja ko battle yalimbako drivers. Battle yani badde yako drivers bana. Leo muti entry list yali. That was Kenneth Kabama. So nisigala battle y'abantu basatu.
Jaffa
Kenge. Inze ne Monica Binya bayina 77.5 points.
Na bataka ko
because I was 4.5 points ahead of Monica. But the way really at the time so tambula nga Monica dance okulamuza championship. And by the end of day one yali akulembede championship by because she was ahead because Mukalo was struggling in that rally. So she had 97.5 points.
So yali akulembede by 5 points.
By 0.5.
0.5 points.
Yes. So netugamba okay ontumute. Rally tujitadde tuerinde wali mu power stage. Because we had to finish ahead of Chirumira mu power stage, which you exactly did. It was another battle which I always even Jenjo kunyumiza abazukuru. I mean it's something that when you're waiting for that power stage of course Chirumira okay yaina incident where there was an incident ya Chirumira which even led to his exclusion from the rally. But before even that, yali akulembedde rally. He was 1 minute and 29 seconds
ahead of you people.
Ahead of second. Kate na fatasi twalina nti twalina okumira Password B who was lying third because if Password come into fourth into second position.
Mweba bapushinga further.
Those 2 points, 3 points between 15 and 12. Zandi badi zetaganya. So when you kept Password B, you are katukendwa ne power stage. Within the first loop Chirumira ajiwangula 920. The person who was closing there was Pasua 924. 5939. Remember? Yalikuwa sasa ganzi 19 and the issue I want is again again is over would the same stage. So when he went back he did 980. Of course Yabusala by 2 seconds. Netukwa 903.
Ngama apushi.
9 by 36 seconds.
Mwakola chi. Mwami wachinga temunakugenda
yakyobera njogedde ku Miko waliwo video jene ya Miko nga agenda mu stage nga jeetaaga win yatu upgrade the notes. Albert, how did you say what? If it wasn't enough, the driver lived up to the task. Waliwo twayitanga nga kiri n'alanja nyo watunya power stage championship egenda.
Well, ekyenyinza ogamba nti buli alaba show eno agiwuliriza osubiddwa naye agiraba you can see the excitement of what rally is all about. And mama baby wa Bukenya ne baby ojamu keeping a clip eno asobola okulaba what brings the father so much joy. So anyway ekikulu kiri nti Sebuguzi and Anthony drove a perfect season. Hats off to them. Babadde ne strategy yabwe which worked until the last I liked the approach of Gulu. Era Yatura first section now coming out with that strategy was a wonderful strategy. Kubanga, it gave them a result they needed. Segabwe, of course, Segabwe has been a bright inclusion to the championship. I would give people like Adam Raouf, John Consta, Anyo Mulala, that kind of frenzy as a result of an inclusion of a new driver. He has been able to put that there, and he's kept up the pace. For Hoima, Duncan was on holiday. In my view, he has a very, I think it was more about getting used to his car, trying to understand it a little bit better. When he needed to go, he went. When he didn't need to do, he was calm. So that is what it is. For the two-wheel CRC, it was drama. CRC abadenga Saudi Arabia. Because in the morning, the first thing, the other guy drops out, comes back in the circuit, drops out again. So everything looked like Chibande had not been to the right church the day before. But fortunately enough, he won. I've seen a clip when they get to the final stage and the navigator broke out in tears. These are emotions that people do not understand
exactly
what rally means to people. But that was a very nice one to see. Congratulations to Walter and your crew. Again, another exciting crew that is there. Kevin Bebeto, it's just a matter of time. The CRC in Uganda has a problem. It always denies the outright pace winner from winning at times. So
when you compare
the two, it was which is true. So, but we give congratulations for those who win, because a win is actually a win. Then, of course, for the two-wheel drive category, it is in my opinion, it is one of the exciting products we have in our rally discipline. The possibility of investing in it and growing it is very important. The timings are so tight, and the budgets are not too big. So if it is built up, it would be pretty exciting. Chinalaba Chirumira is a daredevil, very, very, very aggressive driver. Then Mukalu is also very, very aggressive, but Bukenya's driver, from the beginning, when he came in the first car, I always noticed that this gentleman is very, very quick. So he's very quick. He looks to be very comfortable in the car when he's going. Tom Labanti, I think he even has more pace to present if he's given the opportunity. So where to Hoima way again, for us, the spectating group, it was interesting to be in Hoima, the land of oil, and of course to see the new stadium. So one of the things about rallying and motorsport in Uganda is the ability for people to see things like that, and putting a stage at that particular point was also a good idea to make sure that the country sees where we're going next the other year. It is fantastic.
It looks fantastic.
It's really fantastic.
Aaron Hoima, what are Dambuza? Why was what you may have a chapa? What are Dambuza? What you may have a chapa? Yeah, that chapa because we when he won the Dennis Tibenda on Sunday, the first stage on Sunday, there was no recovery for us because the second stage after Dennis Tibenda service, then the other stage was Chamasuka. 23.8 something kilometers. Yali rough. The first part of it, kilometers are mukaga, smooth, but the next kilometers are imbi. So for us, we couldn't go and commit the car in Okununyo would because let's reserve the car for the power stage. And then for an scale, tennis Stephen until the car lost its alignment. So it was always a tambula, a dawangi. You can't let's just cheat. Let's look, and when you worked, China services the first service after the Stimenda, and the second service after the second loop. So twice the
Mga katugende mu past stage mu
and I think it's the best stage I've driven so far this season.
Hoima yanyumira nnyo perspective nti sokata byonna I was privy nti nafunanga obudde in time because bakama bange abawuma bantekamu obwesige nti mbeerenga ku advisory team eyo ya times at all costs mu events ziba zigenda maaso moso betwali tukozesa RBI so I was privileged nti naliku forum yabwe yo sharing times at the instant so nafuna omukisogo nti namanyanga obudde moso nti stage wedde onali wangu den chanyumira nnyo so last stage satu zoneza ku Saturday naziraba yasoka kakonge najiraba but they not at the FF twakola mutani eri 6 kilometers turn right yes yali nonji nnyo then I rushed ngenda then tuka ku FF ya Suma mira performance yali nonji nnyo yandoza Uganda twina ebintu bino kutereza ndoza tubitereze tujewo ebitone ebyo bireeta harabalu batutwese murale nze kyensaba bakama bafa batutwala tukole nnyo ekyamaanyi nnyo tufune timing system yaffe eri independent esobola okukola obudde perfectly kigasobola okuempoweringa aba members bena abawuma abakola obudde ne tubawa the right gadgets ne tujjawo doubts z'abantu oba z'aba spectator oba z'abavuzi mu budde bwe bateeka ku board kijja going in a very big way okutereza omuzanyo gwaffe wano mu Uganda ndabye ddala nti obudde gye bugenda wano we tugenda maaso obudde bugenda kuba as tight as possible so we need that equipment esobola okubanga esobola okutuseparatinga nti ono second actually zibadde bbiri ezakubye ono and at the end of the rally total time separated from 1 2 3 4 eri only 7 seconds twatuuka ku rally eyo stage esooka Duncan yagiwangula bagenda musuma Sibugabe namukuba 3 seconds n'atolako ku ziri and ababazi bali bajja babala kubanga ndoza Segabo yali akubye Duncan yali akubye Segabo ndoza 6 ngakubye muwanguzi 8 stage 1
because Mwanguzi posted the third best time.
Mwanguzi
9:54
exactly so bagenda musuma 1 Sibugabe mu 6 najjako 3 Duncan muwanguzi Yasinasa Sebuguzi Alwi bonna bali awo banoonya obwo busekende ejja kuba patterns bunyonyo so we need that clarification nti obudde betuteeka ku board buli omu abukkiriza and that's where we are going.
Something to add to that, it makes the game much more exciting if that time is broadcasted live. Kubanga you become part of the race as a spectator. So it makes people understand what the driver is committing to. Ne team nebange mani driver ekola kino. So that it is very important. Naye mu Uganda wano our major problem is administrative and until we agree to administratively sort ourselves out, we shall never get where you're going. The drivers are doing their part. They're bringing in the vehicles. The spectators have always done their part. They are there. The sponsors are there, but they could be more. But we have one very big sponsor who has come in and he's been, for the last 2 years, it's been okay. But administratively, we have a very big problem. And that we need to sort out.
Yeah, the schedule in my diary of late, since you have a schedule, how you're going to run your day. Morning, this time. Since I had not done it before. I now from 11 up to 1. That time I've dedicated it since Hoima, and I'm doing it for the whole of this week as well, because I've done it since Hoima. Now it's
first week.
Week ya Hoima I worked. This is the second week. Signing autographs. I've signed. I'm a left-hander, but I've been forced.
No, because I'm right.
Since we did that, but I mean, it's those are moments you live in life.
It's a dream come
One of the
true.
things I can tell you now that I live in Cat event here with the when Chirumi was leading the rally, Naringa Amboke, we can't risk kumunonya because zikana kusanga ko FF ya chamasuka I know yakola 18 20 something
no kola 19 something like a minute plus
minute nongamba ne akutamu omuntu ne mugamba twamutadde kati but for us we are reserving the car for that stage. Now when we went in for that power stage outside because there was service then park family then park family out ugenokole holding out transport. Now I phone mukalo kukubo ngajuso mpira ntimye mugacha nteza mpira so I asked him past the natural jeters ngamba let me try to push kati ntuka ku start the control was like the twingira control and the nerves were because I knew if I don't win that if I don't go ahead of Chirumira even if I didn't win the stage the issue was kumumalira waguru because it has 7 points
at least you get a point
ahead of him then I would be 0.05
ahead
I'll be champion. So we tandika Chirumira yeragoba Pasua was the order then ngafe tugoba Mukalo. So we begin the stage. You can write because 9:39 prior earlier in the first loop. So we begin the stage, yeah, we flowing and no issue. So to come, the stage was 11.34 kilometers.
But you say there's a 12.
I think I'm in a party passage.
Passage.
There was a passage. My first loop to Ajikola. So we had to prepare for the passage. Driver ngama gwempa note the ball is in your hand. so I asked someone how did you approach the passage? Yeah, the power stage. Okay. So I asked 3 guys compared then go to one out of the 3 passage that is animal bid. So you come stop they sign then go to they sign then. So that's why I think that's why we lost much time in there because the first loop was losing among the money. Yeah, Siba is to say then guy could you come stamp that's why we lost a lot of time. So this time we perfected it and we went through. So watching Bagame moment when we reached the FF, it was Pasua Moyo stage. Yakola 20 something because he lost the drive shaft. The Democratic Quatomri, so they had to stop, extinguish, then catch it towards FF around 1.5 kilometers. So we came into FF last year. So even that even caused more worries for me. Can you talk about FF? Nzangao Najuma. She was there. She was in media. She interviews. She never me motoka. But I was very, very scared. Okunulira summary sheet. Okunya the watching it's something. It is real. So what I did. What when I didn't believe 903 because the 903 could form me actually no weekend. I like I remember 80. So what I did, I asked Never Mokamansul now parking out of the control. I knew come out, so I asked the marshal who was there. Mpako would never watch me. Name come so compare the first. Dig it. I would go Langamba 9. So she told me 9. So the question was, awada wadako. 9 chisajibuza. So inalaba najuma ngaja aduka. She was celebrating. Nangamba ujimazi. So nemubuza akoze mmeka. Nanga 9:18. I didn't even forgotten to sign on this. Why did you already what no Sanga Road and not left transport?
Yes.
It's until we reached the main road. That's when I've not even. So I had to come back. But I was all anyway. Those are moments we
lived.
Yeah, we lived and that were the guard of honor. That's why I saw the Sabuguzi dancing. Nentonio. Chivande as well, even Mansour. So these are moments which we always keep
the figure.
Yeah, so kudos to champions, hard luck to Awada so the Chikola Atenzakati. In my case, I began after in the 3rd event. That was Pearl because I didn't do Mbarara and Masaka. So lucky enough, if I did to drive Ngawa Bimanyi, Bikodia Mansour, and that's how I've also been able to do
Talking about moments. You don't realize the importance of those things until you get to that moment.
Yeah.
So nowadays in my driving career, there were a few moments of what I would call bliss, but I never captured one. So there's when I was driving the rally of Mbali when I overtook Leila. somebody actually captured a photograph of us sliding past and took a photograph of it. But I had never seen it. So one of these days I was maneuvering myself around and a guy sent me a message and said, but you man, you know what, I have a photograph of yours. So I told him, what photograph is that? So he sent it to me. It was amazing to see. So you don't understand the value of that until time goes on. So in a couple of years from now, you sit down and really get excited about that.
Right, we go in for short commercial break. To come out, the karting championship, round 3 and 4, which is upon us over the weekend on 6th, LUBOWA karting track. Albert Ezia will bring us up to speed in the video, whether Ibra Chaluzowa ali kunyonyi wa the last event yaliyo abayize tuganga abo ayingironga 5 wanga ayingiddewo katika netumanyi tukomewo. Commercial break, it's the podium every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review your Navy in the world of motorsport. We're into our last segment of today's show, which happens to be the 1st of December 2025. How many days are left to the end of the year? 30 days? December now, 30 days to the end of the year.
Not at midnight.
Yeah, so you plan your year, and if you've not succeeded, you try to run session to defining a success. Yeah.
Continuous failure.
Nenga topoye. Movement from failure to failure, with lots of enthusiasm. Albert, the National Karting Championship is upon us, round 3 and 4. Lots of questions for you to respond to. For starters, it's been a while. You behind, okay, for starters, you're behind schedule, in my view. Even as per the calendar, we last had the last event a couple of months ago. On the calendar, you guys, the club had to host 6 events, 6 rounds. Then CMC, Central Motor Club, is also another club that on the calendar, hosting a karting event. But we are here, Mugase, round 3 and 4. Then, in the corridors, round 5 and 6 as well.
Well, I'm going to first, Chengeno Coca-Cola is to speak about the event, then I go through those so we don't miss out on that. So, the karting championship is back on the 6th of December at LUBOWA karting track. We are going to run an event which starts at 8 a.m. and we are calling it a double header, which is we are running the round 3 and the round 4 on the same day in order to catch up with the calendar and make sure that our competitors go through. So the fee for the event, which is an advantage to the competitor, is you're paying 1 fee for 2 races. So the fee for the event is 300,000. For any competitor who is willing to participate, again, participating in muzanyo, sasula 300,000, or woboyagala kusasula ku flyer fe eri ku screen okwo, kuliko telephone number, you can pay by mobile money, or you can go to LUBOWA karting track and make your deposit. We expect to run an efficient event based on any training jetwafuna from Ibra, who runs the track in Dubai. So we are expecting to improve on the quality of our officiation. The format of our event is for the competitors who are listening to us. As of now, the track is open for free practice, so everybody can go in and practice. On race day, we are doing a sprint endurance. So you will go into your kart, you do 4 laps, which 4 laps will constitute as familiarization of the track. You run your qualifier, you're gridded, your qualifier times are done. We set the machine is able to give us your time at the end of the qualifying round. You go around the track and be stopped at the extreme right of the track. You'll be gridded, you come onto the track, you come onto the start grid and you shoot out. At the end of the race, you would have completed your round 3. And we shall do that for the same for round 4. So we are going to do this in the categories of cadets, ladies, and of course the most exciting category we have is the Super Pro class. So that will be our events for Saturday, which will be 3 and 4. And you go home. For those who attend, you have an opportunity to win a trophy in round 3 and win the trophy in round 4. Or you might lose out in round 3, but you win in round 4. So that is all awaiting you. and we look forward to seeing you Saturday. Going back to the break in the championship, our sport is not an outdoor, omuzanyo gwaffe is not outdoor. Nti tugenda kubeera waawo, nti osobola ogenda n'onoonya farm oba n'onoonya kubo n'ofuna venue. Sport yaffe ebeera ku track. Track zino bananyini ba track zino bazikozesa for their business. So kati we booking a date, not a meeting a date eyo, it is very difficult for them to come back to you to give you dates. So mu 2024 we ended our season in October. Era we started negotiation with our track owners and the various sponsors. Unfortunately, the federation went into a court, and all that craze that happened in and out of court. As a result of that, twabadde tetusobola okumanya when we will have these events, because we were on, what was it called? Court order to not have an AGM, court order this, court order that. So at the end of the day, by the time we twafuna the approval to run, we had lost majority of our sponsors for lack of decision making. We had lost our slots with our track owners, and so for that matter, we had financial constraints for running the race. The races we had done in the previous year, we had not been paid for them, receiving the contribution from the federation. So we were unable to continue. Fortunately enough, those matters were addressed, and we have some resource in which we can try to use to complete the season. However, karting is a new discipline in terms of practicals. In Uganda, we are developing a discipline, and when you develop a discipline, it takes time for it to hit where it's supposed to be. So we have, one thing I can say is we have great talent as of now within the competitions that we have, and we look forward to a better 2026, hoping our administrative challenges are sorted out so that we can run a clean championship. We were two clubs that were given the opportunity to run, and as you very well see, both had challenges and were not able to meet their obligation. But we are going to meet our fine obligations, and we hope administratively, byonna bitereera, which is very important, kubanga we are selling a product, which product must be guaranteed to the person we are selling it to. So we look forward to finishing this year and look for a better one next year.
You, of course, a number of challenges in there. The case of deterring. Was it last year? Of course, last year was the inaugural.
Yeah.
You guys did the launch at Miraki in Bugorobi. Then you had by the end was awards FMU. You will have the first ever karting champions awarded for 2024
and hopefully to 2025.
So was it, Albert, were you guys ambitious in terms of setting out the number of events? Because last year you did 4 events?
We did 3 events.
3 events. This time you doubled that by Nefuka 6. Was it the right, because someone would ask, was it the club echarimo infants and events echarimo, okay, the discipline echarimo infants, why we spread your wings that much of want to win those number of events? Because if you have 7 NRCs, 8 MX events, with the challenges you get there, maybe you foresaw them and having.
No, for us in October of 2024, we were the first club to submit the request for the dates. We requested for dates around particular elements of the season, Matters Day, things like that. We booked with our partners the dates in advance. We spoke with our sponsors way in advance. It was our championship ended in October specifically for us to prepare for 2025. Unfortunately for us, as an organization, we are running these events on behalf of FMU. So if FMU is in court, there's no way you can run an event. So that was our biggest breakdown, and that was our biggest challenge. So we couldn't be able to guarantee to our partners what they wanted for us in order for us to do the events with them. So of course they had to give out the dates. So when we started our first event, We were successful. Second event, we were almost successful. And then at the tail end of that, we started facing financial challenges because we are doing these events on behalf of the organization, and our funding base had been disrupted by these legal cases because unlike rallying or motocross, which have been around for very many years, we were just developing a foundation for sponsors to trust, believe in the comeback, and we hit that struggle. So ebyo bibadde bitulemesa okutambula. Ibra we yajja in round 2, it was not by shock, it was planned in advance. Era his ability to train and teach marshals and grow was something that was supposed to consistently go on throughout the year, because our target was 2027, we want to host an African Championship event here in Uganda. So our projections are way as early as that, as far as that. But unfortunately, we hit this trouble. But like you say, every success story is about failures, waking up and moving forward. Right. So we are going to continue doing so. Yeah,
Aaron, the discipline of karting anymore, it's in second year. It's speaking numbers. Happen to be most of the events. All our parents are very enthusiastic about competing. Even the access. Albert, spending how many those billions of money. As a track here, and we've over and over again we've been wishful about our sport. What that we target Kuzimba track, you have a cutting track, an MX track, a circuit, 4x4 enduro area, and it's not. But Albert talked about administration as being the biggest challenge in our sport. It does hamper development. Like now, some of the discussions is on one of our forums of late. Issue dusty issues about competitors talking about not entirely feeling the presence of the federation in challenges and those things keep continuing. And they actually got only performance here, sporting distance in karting.
Yeah, tufuna obuzibu ennaku ezimu nti bakama baffe abatwala ennaku ezimu badredingamuko bakolayo gye tulina okugendamu netwesanga nga omanyi bweolabanga abantu abamu nga bali agitated about something ekitegeeza waliwo olupoolo gwe ng'omukulembeze oba gwe abatwala gyolekawo ereeta akajagala naaka okubeerawo tobulaba nti ennaku ezimu administration ezisinga eziri really attentive ku detail ne genda maaso lwe waletawo akajagala naako bakola nnyo kinene okulaba nga bakatereeza that we move on the right direction. Cutting discipline, the baby, it's like the
drifting,
the championship, the drifting. These are some of the new disciplines which are being introduced into motorsports, and with the gunje balina following money, the interest from other people. I think it would have been very, very good for our management administration of Kubange taking on this carefully. Okulabanga tufunamu ekirungi okuva mu disciplines zino. Omuntu we talked to Chaluzi here nga kakasa nti omuntu afunye training through the karting discipline aba mulala nnyo nga tuse mu rallying. You got how to handle pressure, you go and competition jojja nayo as in attributes zojja nazo okuva mu karting bw'oziteeka mu mainstream rallying eri waggulu oba a different person altogether. So ate tuba tuddawo netugaa nti tulina okudevelopinga abaana abato. Bano abaana abato betudevelopinga mu disciplines zino be bajja osupportinga mainstream rallying yaffe. Ntera nnyo kyogera emirundi n'emirundi nti twali badde tugeza kulaba nga tutereeza ebintu bino in time of plenty. Kubanga we are going to be faced with the time of scarcity. Twetaaga tutuuke mu time of scarcity nga byetwategeka mu time of plenty bye bituyisa mu scarcity period.
Because it does resonate with the current status of motorsport in Kenya. They have only had one event. which was the Safari, which doubled as the first round of the KNRC. Agitations of the Kenyan drivers, they have so much bar switching into rallycross. That's where it was Sangabano by Eric Bengi, Babu Kaugi, Carl Flash Tundo, nobody rallycross to them. We all said Kenyans here, and there's a Qualico, Eric Bengi, Onyoi, Onyoni, then
former commissioner.
They are talking about how I have buying a bottom KMSF. Bagamba KMSF obuta aligning itself with the Sports Act Yajamu 2023 around there. So for them, they went and registered another federation. It ogenda ku social media handles bakuta federation in register ngerimu its process. It's in process you're registering. So kati bayina battles ezo. So the sport eri kati nnyo bali nyate mu nga kyogedeko mu rallycross. Even motocross kati tuina the final the second round ya CS. They are hosting it. But Kenyans sport yabo ya kamuko.
Omanyi ekizibu kyetubeera one of the problems zetunoonya oba gye tutalaba is the sporting arm of the sport, which is regulation and everything, is actually influenced a lot by the administrative arm. The powers of the sporting arm comes from the administrative arm.
Because the administration formulates the technical, not the other way around.
So if the administration is messed up, the technical suffers. So kati ekyabadde mu Kenya omwo is a situation of that disjointment. Naye at the same time, it is the administrative arm itself that has collapsed. But why has the administrative arm collapsed? Obutakkiriziganya okukolagana. I have talked about something from 2009, collective responsibility, to work collectively, not to work individually. Omanyi, it is a very strange thing for rally drivers. I always say to you, when you go around a hard left, whether you're in an R5, two-wheel drive, whatever it is, that is what you're going to find. So your problems are the same. It's just that you do not want to think collectively around them. So the collectiveness of the group makes it easy for you to function. If you go to one of factories on Ezikola soda or water, ku conveyor belt nga gundi efuluma, you go and stand on that thing and watch it. If one bottle comes out in the wrong position, everything collapses. So if you are not thinking together as you walk down the road, you all collapse. So for us, the most important thing is soko kiriziganya. We want motorsport to move forward. We want it to provide us enjoyment, but we want it also to feed us. It can do all those things because this thing called motorsport, for lack of a better word, has been surviving on its own for all these donkey years. It has never, in my own view, this is my personal opinion, it has never actually been properly administered for a very long time, but it is running on its own. It's living its own life. We are sucking the life out of it, but it's just not dying. So if we decide to feed it properly, organize it properly, it will feed everybody, and it will take care of everybody.
And that's what that means, the element of commercializing the sport, and without even by every sport.
Every sport, it is a commercialized issue.
Look at this guy. This okay, we can't. It's for them. It's but the Hamiltons of this world. Okay, maybe that level is so high. But what formulates what leads to the commercialization? What kind of rules do you have? What kind of laws do you have in the country? Now the laws, the sports law to it's entirely
fantastic.
Yeah, it's not it doesn't envisage amateur.
The funny thing about these stories is that if you go back and read where Hamilton comes from, Hamilton was not the son of a billionaire. So there's a Hamilton somewhere in Uganda here. There's a Sebastian Oje somewhere in Uganda here. So the only way is for us to agree. For example, football. Uganda went to under 17, wasn't it? We came out of the groups. We beat France. Do you know what it means to beat France? A country called Uganda from nowhere. But because of the administrative organ functioning effectively, Uganda in football is continuously progressing. If you go in
the Uganda Cubs,
Team B,
Ethiopia, qualify for AFCON. Now